In the late 80s, all across England, a little known phenomenon was taking place. Music was changing, and with the advent of acid house came a rave culture, which to this day has shown no sign of backing down. People in their thousands were flocking to random fields, farms and warehouses to partake in an experience of freedom and excitement the likes of which we'll probably never see again. Unguarded and untarnished by the real world and its laws or rules, this was the beginning of something very special. 1989 and the rave scene was in full swing, with parties such as Sunrise, Energy and Genesis being held at whichever venue they could find. Originally passed off as a minor nuisance by the authorities, these gatherings soon attracted the unwanted attention of not only the police wanting to stop these drug-crazed acid parties, but also criminals wanting a piece of the action.
It just used to take everybody by complete and utter surprise, didn't it?
Yeah, totally caught them off guard. Totally.
And you would have 15,000 people turn up at energy events and sunrise events and stuff like that, and the police wouldn't know what to do with it. But as time went on, they did get clued up, and technology moved on as well. You know, mobile phones started happening and that, so people could sort of play a game of cat and mouse with the police. You know, there would be false meeting points set up and stuff like that.
The idea of a large group of people gathering on a field such as this, with huge sound systems, laser light shows, fairground rides, copious amounts of mind-altering substances, might not seem so abstract today, with festivals such as Glastonbury, Reading, Leeds, they're being held all year round. But at the time, the media and the police attacked the scene as a menace. Now, I understand that this many people raving all night can leave a hell of a mess. And as for noise pollution, well, you get the idea. This didn't stop the promoters or the patrons from fighting their cause and creating one of the most notorious eras in electronic music.
It was, you never knew where they were going to be. You'd go to a meeting point, a service station or whatever, and you'd have a car full of people. Most of us had, just passed our driving test. We were of that age, we were 17, 18 years old, just passed his test. First car, whatever it might be, piling all your mates in, everyone's chipping in £2 for petrol, off to the service station.
It didn't know any motorways, didn't know where anything was. I mean, we wouldn't be able to say where Berkshire was or something like that.
Wouldn't have a clue.
You would just follow people.
You just follow a convoy of people, and it would just be a major buzz.
And you would even pick up people on the way who didn't have a clue what was going on, but would just see that there was something happening, and they would just follow along and come along for the ride.
Organisers had to really fight to get these parties up and running, risking arrest, fines, violence and death threats. But the ethos of rave stood firm, and the idea of fuck the law was one that unified the scene. The Prodigy's second album, Music for the Jilted Generation, was made with this ethos in mind, the first track of which is an introductory quote expressing Liam Howlett's disillusion of the scene.
So, I've decided to take my work back underground, to stop it falling into the wrong hands.
This album was a statement about the oppression of the rave scene. The Prodigy is one act that spawned from the acid house era, blasting into the charts at number 3 with Charlie in 1991.
Charlie says always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere.
Shortly after this success, the well-respected dance music magazine Mix Mag held an interview with the band, brandishing the headline, "Did Charlie Kill Rave?" It seems from a mainstream point of view, the Prodigy were first seen as a cartoon pop band, cashing in on the popularity of the rave trend, but this was far from the case. The Prodigy started out as a group of people simply playing tunes and dancing. Some would say the formula worked. And it was around the same time that a new underground scene was being born. The music previously had been created and reinforced by the scene's feeling of togetherness and standing for something, not to mention the happy nature of the music and the drugs. It seemed the next level of rave music really did go back underground, forming into many different aspects of the styles seen before. The idea of generalising music became all the more important to some people, be it breakbeat, drum and bass, jungle, rave, hardcore, techno, the list just goes on and on.
Where them gangsters, where them dimes at?
And renowned styles have a never-ending list of subgenres. Take house for example. Deep, French, scouse, tech, hard, progressive, tribal, minimal, electro, disco, Chicago. You get the idea. I've come down to Brighton to meet with the producer Chevron. His collection of classic synthesizers and equipment has taken years to build. Some of these pieces are considered very rare and were pinnacle in creating the sound of the acid house era.
People have been making music on laptops, so I think there's been a resurgence in the past 5 years or so of people making music with hardware and buying more hardware just because it sounds good and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of come around in a circle really.
The Roland TB303 was originally designed as a bassline accompaniment to guitarists and keyboard players, but its simple interface and unique sound led to it being heavily used in many classic rave tunes. This is one of only 10,000 units ever produced. The TR-909 drum machine has a very synthetic sound and simple 16-step sequencer, making it perfect for the 4-to-the-floor style music that was becoming so popular. Along with its predecessor, the TR-808, these drum machines helped create the sound of house music.
Since developments in technology, people have been able to make music in their own homes, and synthesizers have become more affordable and effects have become more affordable.
Software programs such as Rebirth give modern producers access to these machines, but for me nothing can compare to the chunky hardware sounds of using the actual product. Although they were only ever produced in limited numbers, the sounds they've become famous for are still used heavily in modern electronic music. In April 2010, I went to a modern incarnation of a rave, the Bangface Weekender. Stemming from a night held in London, the Weekender has been an annual event since 2008, with this being its third year. Held at the Camber Sands Pontins Holiday Park, the ravers share the chalets for the weekend, enjoying the benefits of beds, hot showers and a full kitchen, far removed from the fields full of tents that have become synonymous with music festivals. So here I am at the Bangface Weekender. It's Friday, it's the first night. I'm in my chalet. It's pretty nice. I've got a shower next door, got my bed. It's all you need really. Nice little quiet place to come.
Alright, now have you two met before? They've just been introduced. This could be fun! Alright.
Yeah, so it's the first night. Saw the opening ceremony. I've seen many things in my life, but I never thought I'd see Dave Benson Phillips gunging a couple of ravers.
4, 3, 2, 1, let's go!
The atmosphere is just incredible. Everybody here is here for the same reason. No other agenda other than to have a rave. Bangface throws a real party. The crew bringing out a seemingly endless supply of inflatable toys, cardboard masks, glow sticks and somewhat strangely, text-laden cards which the crowd thrust into the air with pride.
People are there they're there for the music, but they're also there to have a laugh,
dress up,
and like be a bit silly without kind of people looking down at you and going, "Oh, look at that twat, what's he doing?" Everyone's at here, Bangface.
The idea that raves are different now to how they used to be, I think is down to a number of things. But I mean, doing research for this programme, I discovered that the parties of the late 80s and early 90s, it was much more of a positive vibe. The music and the drugs, I mean, it did nothing other than make you happy. I mean, it's no wonder that they nicknamed 1989 the summer of rave or the summer of love. But now things have changed. The music is far more aggressive than it once was. The drugs have multiplied ferociously, with no particular one being favoured, and yet the atmosphere remains a truly happy one. The people I saw arriving today knew why they were here and what they were letting themselves in for. It's 5 AM and I need to go to bed. I'm not used to the relentless beats pummeling what's left of my brain. By Saturday, people are really settling in. The sun's shining, the nearby beach is full to capacity and the pub is surrounded by hordes of people. The acts don't start until 6 o'clock, so people are just relaxing. But then the chaos ensues once more. It's 9 PM on Saturday and I've been here for a day and a half now, and I've yet to see one act of aggression or negativity amongst any of the people here. The feeling of safety in this otherwise daunting and, as some newspapers might have you believe, hostile situation is just incredible. You just feel safe. The variety here is vast. Some acts have great live shows, live drummers, dancers or MCs, whereas others hold the often seen one man and his laptop motif. I've got some bang flakes. There's actual frosties in there, I assume. That's just crazy. Music-wise, it ranges from potently fast gabber and breakcore to ambient techno and dubstep and everything in between.
You couldn't go to another event where you could just walk around and meet people you've never met before. Walk into their rooms, not even introduce yourself, walk into their rooms. They've got a sound system going and strobes, and they'd invite you in. Myself and Tony went into someone's room in the morning, had strobes going, had a sound system in there. There was someone asleep on the grass outside. Yeah. But that's how it used to be, you know. Yeah. You would walk out of a marquee or a warehouse, and there'd be people asleep by the side of their motors, and people dancing to tunes coming out the back of their cars.
I'm tired, exhilarated, positive, but above all happy. I mean, if this is even an inkling of what a rave was like back in the day, then I'm truly happy it survived. Considering that the majority of the music played at raves like this isn't considered mainstream, the passion that these people have for the scene as a whole negates the need for selling thousands of records. Most of the artists I've met over this weekend are earning their money through live shows such as this and not through record sales. The underground doesn't need the mainstream, and the mainstream isn't ready for the underground, and I hope it never is. I'm gonna go eat my bang flakes.